Awesome. Pleasure to welcome to the podcast Alison O'Hanian from Walsh University. This is going to be a good one. Alison, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
All right. I like that energy. I'm excited as well. I like to hear the story of when you first jumped into goal. Do you remember that?
Yeah, so it was actually my sophomore year of high school. We were in the gym doing tryouts in February because it's too cold outside. And I was originally a defender, and I was like, why not hop in goal? I'll just give it a try because I was the goalie for field hockey. So I just wanted to see what the difference would be. So I hopped in there, and I ended up loving it and just stayed with it.
Awesome. And there's quite some differences because field hockey goalie, I mean, you're head to toe in big pads, big bulky pads. But there's also probably some similarities. What would you say, are some of the similarities between field lacrosse goalie and field hockey goalie and some of the differences?
Yeah, so I'd say some similarities is just watching the ball and coordination with your hand eye and hand foot. And the step two, because both sports you step to the ball and just attack it. Some differences is um the field hockey never really goes above hip, I guess, and lacrosse it is always in the air and on the
Oh,
ground too.
yeah,
Lacrosse is
that's true. Even though the field hockey goal is really tall, right? Like it's a lot taller than the lacrosse goal, yeah?
yeah, it's very big.
Yeah,
Definitely
right.
bigger than my wingspan.
Yeah, yeah, but it's just with that stick and the ball on the ground, it's tougher to lift it up to do those high shots.
Yeah, it's a slower too, I'd say. Lacrosse is definitely a lot
Yeah.
faster.
Yeah. It's probably easier too in the sense that like ice hockey, like the shot is always coming from, not always, but like 95% of the time coming from the ground, right? And so you can like exactly where that shot's going to come from. Whereas if I have the ball in my stick in lacrosse and I go to wind up, like at the last second, I could totally change the release point.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot more variations that lacrosse can do with the shots.
Yeah, yeah. But tracking the ball, I imagine, is like number one. Like you're used to something coming at you, tracking it all the way, making the save. What in field hockey, like what's the stance like? How do I stand?
So you stand with your hands out and the feet are the same for lacrosse, shoulder width apart, a little
Yeah,
bent.
yeah,
And I'd say you squat more though for field hockey.
yeah.
And you just kind of like stand there and then when they shoot, you just react to it.
And you have like do you have do you have a stick and a glove or what is it?
Yeah, so I have a glove. It's kind of like just a big square of foam on the left hand, and then I have an actual field hockey stick in my right hand. I
Okay,
hold it up.
awesome. And then the idea there is like if the ball comes at your feet, like you just kind of kick it with your pad, right?
Yeah, you just
Okay.
kind of kick in, try and get as far as way as you can.
All right. Well, we're here to talk about lacrosse goalie, not field hockey goalie, but that's very interesting to me. So thank you for sharing that. What then did you do once you realized, oh, this position is for me? What did you do to learn lacrosse goalie?
Yeah, so I just went online and any highlight reels or videos or just like even just articles about lacrosse goalie. Um, I just learned as much as I could, and I found drills online too to help me grow my game. And of course, Lax Goalie Rat is the first thing that I found, and it was so cool. I was like, this is perfect, because everything's right there that I needed. So yeah, I definitely use that a lot also.
That's good. That's good. I was gonna say so being in college, you're at the age where definitely if you searched for lacrosse goalie anything, you probably came across an article I did or a video that I made.
Yeah.
So that's cool. What are there any in particular that stand out to you that like, wow, this one really helped? Just curious.
Um, I'd say anyone with just going over the basics,
Mm.
and I think also like the mental tips, because I have a
Mm-hmm.
lot of those, like confidence and just like clearing your mind. I
Mm-hmm.
think both of those helped because I didn't really understand the game much at first, so just learning the basics was really helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I hear it. Yeah, that was like sort of my first wave of articles was the basics and how to make a save and the stance and all this and some drills, right? And then I really got into the mental game and studied that quite a bit. And I think that's a good progression for goalies as well. So it's kind of cool that you got both of that as well.
Yeah, yeah, I made a difference too.
Yeah, awesome. Um, awesome. What would you say is your favorite thing about being a lacrosse goalie?
I'd say just the adrenaline that you get after a save and how much control you have during the game because um you really can like make a difference in the outcome of it. Now, obviously, there's a bunch of other factors too, but and the support, your teammates always support you so much, and I just think it's really cool to have all the love and stuff.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah, that was one of the things that really drew me to the position as well. Is like I saw how the team sort of treated the goalie when he made saves, and I was really drawn to that. And so hopefully each team, has that kind of culture. I think that is the standard culture, but I know not all teams have that culture of respecting and really shouting out the goalie.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what we're all about here at Lax Goalie Rat. So awesome. What about your least favorite thing?
Um, I'd say definitely if well, I don't really mind getting hit much, but if you get if you get hit in the like knee or just a bad spot, um that kind of isn't the best, or just letting in a shot when it's a really close game, like
Mm,
just after the fact, just that feeling.
yeah. Yep, I hear you. Goalies can put a lot of pressure on themselves or really wear those losses hard, and that's kind of I mean, that's sort of the idea of like having the spotlight on you. You either win and you're the hero, or you lose and you're the butt. But that's what we sign up for.
Yeah.
um, cool. So you started playing goalie your sophomore year of high school, right? Sophomore year of high school.
Yeah.
And a lot of goalies might think like, oh, that's a little bit late. Like, how am I going to play college if I just started, as a sophomore? Did you go through that thinking, or what do you say to those goalies?
Yeah, so at first I had a little doubt because I never even picked up a lacrosse stick until my sophomore year of high school.
Mm,
And so I definitely had a little doubt, but once I found out how much I love and how quickly you can learn with all the essentials you have online you can learn from, I was like, maybe I do have a shot. And I just like kept going and used my resources, and my coaches helped a lot too through club.
oh
And
yeah.
then yeah, I just trust the process is what I'd say.
Hmm. Yeah. There's a lot of individual work that goalies can put in, and I think that like when I was first starting out, I didn't realize that. It was like, well, I could take shots, but that kind of requires somebody else. And only now do I realize all the other like stuff that goalies can do. And there's a lot, right? There's a lot you can do on your own. So what about talk to me about Ohio club lacrosse?
Yeah. So the main clubs are in Columbus, and then there's a few in Cleveland too. It's not as plentiful as like the East Coast, but there's definitely some good big ones there where you can get a lot of action.
Hmm. I know Kyle Bernlor trains in that area. Have you been to any of Kyle's camps?
No, but I know my good friends have, and they say they always rave about how good it is and how useful.
Yeah. I've never been, but he's presented at the goalie summits, and he's really, I mean, he's amazing goalie, like out there in the pros, but he's also just a really good like coach. So if you ever get the
Yeah.
opportunity, I'd highly recommend it. KB Kyle Bernlor, yeah, KB Goalie Academy. Check it out. I think they do. I think they're in Cleveland, but I'm not sure. My Ohio geography is a little bit rusty.
I think they're in Cleveland. You might, yeah, I
Yeah.
think it travels around Ohio.
Yeah, that would be smart. That would be smart. All right. What about so you start in high school? Did you like and you sort of fall in love with lacrosse? Did you watch games on TV, college games, pro games?
Yeah, yeah. So watch all anything that I could find that was on. I just watched it, college pro, and I was so close to OSU since I'm in Columbus, so I went to a lot of their games whenever they played at home. Yeah, I just
Okay.
like watched that.
Awesome. Um, I sponsored the OSU goalie last year, Reagan. I don't know if you ever watch Reagan Alexander. She's really good.
Yeah, yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, she's
Know her
cool.
pretty well.
Oh, you do? That's
Yeah.
great. Awesome. I was gonna ask what goalies you like to watch and kind of what you learn from them.
Yeah, so Molly Lalberty, I learned just how to have fun with the game because she always has so much excitement and just always enjoys herself. So I
Yeah.
learned the energy from her. Um, from Taylor Moreno, just the basics. She's really the first goalie that I watched. Well, her and Emily Sterling, I watched both of them when I first started learning. So I learned the basics from both of them actually, and just the stance and there's certain little tips they always have, like cool little interesting facts.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I've had all those goalies on the podcast and loaded with cool little interesting facts. Good, it's a good way to put it. What about drills? What kind of drills are you doing right now to improve your game? Goalie drills.
Yeah, so I do the ball against the wall toss. You just like throw it and then catch it. Different variations of that. I love doing footwork, like ladders, just any type of agility stuff, and just cardio, just like on the treadmill, just to get your heart rate going. You know, keep the athleticism on.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah, I love it. And why did you talk to me a little bit about Walsh University. Your decision to commit there and kind of how the recruiting process went for you.
Yeah, so I wanted a school close to home, but not too close, and I think 2 hours is a perfect length. And
Mm-hmm.
so I looked into this, and I visited twice. The first time I was like, okay, cool, just kept it in the back of my mind, and then I originally committed to a different school actually, but in the same conference, Finley, and then I realized it as I, got more into my senior year that I kind of rushed things a little bit. So I decommitted from Finley, and then I started the search process again, and I found Walsh again, and it was a different coach this time. And I
Mm.
just fell in love with her style and just the dynamic she had. And yeah, I just committed there.
Awesome. And you are, let's see, it says you're 2027. So if I do some math, you're a sophomore?
Man.
Freshman. All right. I'm,
Yeah.
I'm, I'm always confused by these years. Even in youth lacrosse, when someone goes, "Oh, I'm a 2032," and I'm like, "All right, it's 2024. Add 8 years, and you graduate. So that you're 12? No, 11. All right. Cool. And then, so how's it going so far? How was your freshman year?
Oh, I love it. I'm learning a lot, even more. The girls are awesome. They're always so fun to be around. They are hilarious. The funniest people I know. And they always want to put in the work. They always want to be there. And I think it's just a cool dynamic to have, just always wanting to grow with each other.
Mm-hmm. What would you say you've learned about in terms of your lacrosse goalie game?
I'd say confidence, definitely. Because when I first came in, I was like a little scared and nervous, and then I got on or more into season, and I was like, this isn't bad. And yeah, I just learned the more of the mental game and how to stay positive.
Mm-hmm. What are some tricks that young goalies can use to stay positive? How does that work for you?
Yeah, so I have a reset. I always reset, like I have a piece of tape on my stick kind of at the head of neck area, and if I get upset I look down at it and I take a deep breath. If I let in a goal, I always have a post goal routine where I walk out, I take a breath, and then turn around, walk back in, and then I just shake it off and reset. And I think just having a clear mind is the key to positivity, and just have good self-talk, like boost yourself up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I preach the reset routine so much, and just kind of having that routine that you can go through when you give up a goal because it's an intense experience, and if you're not like if you don't have a routine that you can just go into autopilot, your mind can start going. So I think that's a really strong mental game tip you just gave right there. So awesome. And then how did the season end up going for you guys?
So for the fall season, we had a few scrimmages and they all went really well. We just got more connection each game, I feel like. And we learned a lot too. We always just like how to work with each other with the last year seniors left and us freshmen coming in. And
Hmm.
yeah, getting to know each other more.
Awesome. And are you, would you say now you're like battling for the starting spot, or is there an established goalie, or kind of where's your position and what's your goal with this season?
Yeah, so our coach likes to mix it up. She each game she'll either have one, two, or all three goalies play. It depends on who our opponent is. Um I think it's good just to know that you have a chance of going in and just kind of keep you like always ready because you always have to be ready in case your name gets called. So I think it
That's a good
helps in
point.
that way too.
Yeah, that's a good point. But would she tell you like, okay, Allison, you're gonna play the second half, or it's just like at halftime you might go like, Allison, you're in for the second half.
So sometimes she'll tell us the either during warm-ups or just the night before, but sometimes she also just throws us in if like a spur of the moment type of thing. If things aren't going the way she thought, then she'll change it
Yeah,
up a little
interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm gonna be honest, but I don't know if it works for you guys, it works for you guys. But maybe I'm more old school in my. I like to have one goalie, go as long as they can. And yeah, if you have to pull them, you have to pull them. But I don't know. All right. Well, cool. What about what sort of things are you doing? I guess your guys' season starts pretty soon, yeah? I mean, what sort of things are you doing right now to get ready to play?
Yeah, so right now we're just having practice. We started, I'd say about 3 weeks ago,
Hmm.
and 6 days a week, just normal practice, a lot of 7v7 work to get that mindset going. And we have our first scrimmage the 16th of February.
16th of February. Okay, first scrimmage in 2 weeks. All right. And it looks like you guys went. I'm just looking at you went 8-0 in the conference last year, right?
Yeah.
That's not bad. Is
Yeah,
there
hopefully we'll do that again this year.
yeah, I mean, where is there like a Division 2 tournament? Like it kind of seems like the season just ends.
Yeah, so the top few teams out of all Division 2 goes to the NCAA and we missed it by a spot or two.
Really?
So I think we
Even
were
though you won your league championship.
yeah.
What am I missing there?
I think they're making a new rule this year where if you win your conference, then you just automatically go instead
Right.
of there. That'd be
Right.
a lot better.
Yeah. That would be weird. I've never heard of a team winning the conference championship and then not making the and not even making the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I think it'll go into play next year because yeah, they a lot of people think the same thing. I agree with you there.
Yeah. And this Tiffin University was ranked number 4. And you guys crushed them 23-5.
Yeah.
What about this game? Wow. Then 2 weeks before that, you played Tiffin again. And you won 1-0. Is that right? Or no?
um, I think so. Yeah, if I remember correctly.
Oh no, it says they forfeited. All right, never mind. There must have been something going on there. I don't think that was the final score. Maybe they couldn't make the game.
Yeah, I think there's one game last year with the weather just didn't work out, and it was
I
yeah.
got you. Okay. I looked at the score and I was like 1-0. You gotta tell me about that game. That's unbelievable. I mean, I've never seen a lacrosse game end in a 1-0 score, but it looks like there was something else going on. Okay. Well, cool. Good luck in the upcoming season. Is there a way people can watch these games on TV? Are they streamed?
On the our website, there's a live stream link at the Walsh University Women's Lacrosse page.
Yeah.
And it should be if you go to our game schedule, there's should be a little icon at the bottom.
Okay. Yeah, I always like oh, I see it right there. Yeah. And that'll take you to that'll take you to this page that streams it. All right, cool. Damon University. That's an interesting school name.
Yeah, they're from New York.
Awesome. Cool. So talk to me. Let's see, you got the upcoming season. What about your sort of style of goalie play? Like, how would you describe it, Allison?
Yeah, so I am very big on the 45-degree angle step just because that's what all my coaches drilled into me. So it's just kind of how I play. For
Hmm.
the arc, I play more of a middle arc. I don't like high or low. I like a little more in the middle there. And I like to play very like, loose. Like I play it more like you know how the guy goalies they are more like use their body and move a lot more. I
Hmm.
play more toward that style.
Yeah, I like that style. I think a lot of girls should adopt that. I think it works a little bit better.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
easier personally.
cool. And what about your stick setup? What do you use for that?
So I have STX Eclipse 2 for the head,
Hmm.
a ECD Carbon Pro for the shaft, and for the stringing I just use String King, and I have two shooters along the top.
Awesome. That head over my shoulder, that's kind of your setup right there. That's an Eclipse 2 with sort of two shooters across the top right there.
Yep, yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly it.
All right. And do you string your own heads?
I have my friend string it. My teammate's dad, he has his own little business. So I usually use that, but I'm trying to learn how to string my own just because I think it'll be more helpful and easier.
Yeah, it's a good skill. It's a good skill to have. But yeah, I didn't string my own sticks, and I've strung up one, and it's okay. I give myself a C plus. Passing, passing, right?
That's
Uh,
good.
yeah, not bad, not
Better
bad.
than
What
most.
what are you studying at Walsh, by the way?
I'm studying nursing.
Oh, cool. Nursing slash lacrosse goalie, making
Yeah.
making saves on the field and in the hospital. Cool. Talk to me. I know you're kind of involved with Morgan's message. Yeah. Could you talk to me about what that is and why that's important to you?
Yeah, so it's a platform that advocates for athletes' mental health and just breaking the stigma of where you have to hide your emotions and where you can just like feel stuff. And I think it's important just because I value that a lot. So I found that and I was like, this is really cool. I want to help like send the message out. And I know the senior goalie that I was talking about, she's also a part of it. And I think it's just a really cool webs or I guess platform.
Platform. Yeah. Have you personally had to battle with some mental health issues?
Yeah, so I struggle with anxiety, which I found lacrosse or I use lacrosse as a gateway to kind of relax and escape from that. And
Hmm.
yeah, I think this helps a lot to
Interesting.
steer away from that.
So you struggle with anxiety, but like outside of lacrosse, and when you come onto the field, like that sort of calms it.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like a totally different world once I step on the field, or even just hit the wall with some wall ball. Just anytime I
Yeah.
have a stick in my hand.
Yeah. Yeah. Because for a lot of young goalies, it's kind of the opposite. Like or maybe they have some anxiety in their life, but like the situation on the lacrosse field causes them a lot of anxiety, as well as they worry about, their performance, or they worry about their starting position, or they worry about, whatever, losing or this, that, and the other. So that's an interesting experience. So what would you say to a goalie who is struggling with anxiety?
Yeah, I think just find things that calm you down, um, and just have people to talk to. And uh, I think some coping mechanisms too, like journaling. I love journaling. I have a little journal I write in every night, and it just makes a huge difference. And then yeah, having those certain people you trust enough to talk to, and just like rant if you need to, and they're always there to help you out. It's a
Mm.
big key.
Yeah. Talk to me about that journaling because I'm a big fan of it as well. How do you do it? Is it just stream of conscious writing, or do you got some sort of prompts, or how do you do it?
I just write anything that's on my mind. Like
Yeah.
how my day went, just anything I'm thinking in the moment, I just write it down.
Cool. Yeah, I think that process of like just getting it out and writing it down is very therapeutic in and of itself, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Very cool. I was reading the other day too that now with AI, the artificial intelligence, you can upload, all of your journal entries and like it'll analyze them all and then it'll like give you this like reading of like how you are. Like you can ask it questions about yourself. And I was just like, wow, this is
Wow.
getting crazy.
That's crazy.
So anyway, we'll talk about AI in another podcast. But Allison, thank you for coming on the show. Anything else you wanted to chat about? I feel like that was a good range of topics, but I don't know if we missed anything.
I think you hit everything perfectly. I
Okay.
enjoyed it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, thank you for being a fan. I'm glad that you were able to join, and I'm glad you learned something from Lax Goalie Rat. And have you been to any of the goalie summits, by the way?
Yes, I have.
Oh, cool. All right.
Since my sophomore year, I've attended all of them.
Really? So you've attended when were you a sophomore? 2021?
I think it's either 2020 or
2020. You've
2021.
been attending them since the beginning. Yeah, I
Yeah.
started them. I started them in 2020 during COVID. But cool, Allison. If you had to leave the goalies out there with a final piece of advice, what would that be?
I would say just have fun with the game, enjoy it while you have it, because it's not going to last forever. You play it for a reason, so just trust the process and make those connections with your teammates because they're the ones you're always going to be around and always there for you. So,
Awesome. Thank you so much.
thank you.